aggressive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live show and your daily Chelsea news update. As always, people, there is plenty to get stuck into. We had the here we go for Samu Omorodion last night and further developments today. He is going to have his medical in Paris before signing a 7-year contract at Chelsea to complete his £35 million move. Conor Gallagher has had his Atletico Madrid medical. Enzo Fernandez is set to be named as one of Chelsea's vice captains for the upcoming season. Georgia Petrovic is attracting interest from Strasbourg and Fiorentina over a possible loan deal. Valencia's director saying that Atletico Madrid told them that they were trying to cancel the Conor Gallagher deal. That obviously did not happen. Romeo Lavia has also been earmarked for a possible leadership role in the Chelsea squad. And apparently, Lavia wasn't injured for the whole of last season. They made a decision for him not to return. He could have returned towards the end of last season, but a decision was taken for him not to return. We're going to be diving into the Romeo Lavia stuff as well. Plus, of course, it wouldn't be a Chelsea show without a new signing announced. Aaron Anselmino has been announced as a new Chelsea player today. He'll spend the 24-25 season back on loan at Boca Juniors. And just as we have been discussing this now, people, another signing has taken place. Chelsea have agreed to sign 18-year-old Genk goalkeeper Mike Penders. 20 million euros. Done deal. Great. All really, really exciting stuff, people. But yeah, big up to everyone that's locked in, guys. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're heading towards 11K now. Every new subscriber really helps. So please hit the subscribe button. Please keep smashing the like button as well, guys. Let's run these likes up. Get to 100 as quickly as possible. 41 in the building. Only 11 likes, guys. Come on, hit that thumbs up button. It's free and keep subscribing, people. Let's say hello to a few guys and then we'll get into it. I think we finished 7th or 6th next season. And with transfer business we've done, not improving the first team. I hear you. Sort of defence out and bring Chalobah back and sell Badiashile and Sassy. Yeah, I could agree on that. Same as last season, no higher than 6th. Yeah, I've always maintained I think we'll finish between 4th and 6th. It will be somewhere in that region. What else have we got? Well, it's not a captaincy. I think it's going to be named as one of the vice captains. And look, people can think, for themselves, can form their own opinions. I think it's quite clear that Enzo Fernandez isn't a racist. And I think, most importantly is that his teammates don't think that and the club don't think that. What other people think, is kind of almost irrelevant in that situation in terms of concerning Enzo and the club. What else have we got going on here? Yes, big up. We're just a banter club right now. Look, yeah, it's not great right now. I'll be honest here. Thoughts on Lee Carsley? I don't think it's been confirmed. There have been some reports suggesting that could be the case. I don't see a massive issue with it. I don't really care that much. A couple of games in the September international break, buy yourself a little bit of time to get who you want. I don't see an issue with it. We are not the same team since the UK government fucked us. Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. Yes, big up. Yes, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well. We need to stop this stupid spending. Yeah, I was on Footy Judge Mo earlier, and I'm just saying that. Do you know what? I know it sounds a little bit stupid and a little bit counterproductive, but it would almost be better if we just got a transfer ban and then we just couldn't, and then we just stop signing players. That would almost be more beneficial. Yeah, Penders is signed. We're gonna dive into that. Pardon the goalkeeping pun there. Next season will be long. It could be. Yeah, bro, I hear you. Another one, and that is a good place to start, guys. Let's start with that. We will obviously get into the Omorodion stuff. We'll get into the Enzo stuff. We'll get into Lavia and all that. But this here, done deal. Understand Mike Penders is signed as a Chelsea player in a long-term contract. As expected, Penders will be directly loaned back to Genk for the rest of the season. 20 million euro package and sell-on clause for Genk. I'm lost for words at this point. I don't even really know what else to even say at this point in time. But how many goalkeepers do you need? How? Like, seriously, what is the plan here? What is the plan here? I personally don't understand. But I think, I mean, look, I guess the plan is to buy talented players. And then the idea behind that is that we buy them before maybe they're worth 60 million plus, that we used to buy players for. And then I suppose in theory, they either become good enough for the first team or you sell them for profit. And like, in theory, guys, that is an absolutely foolproof plan, isn't it? In theory, this is what I've been saying. On paper, this plan sounds amazing, doesn't it? You know, you sign the young players before they become 50, 60 million pound players, and then you get them cheap if they're good enough for the first team. If not, you sell them on for a profit. Foolproof plan in theory, doesn't it? But the reality, guys, is very, very different. And you can't just have a feel we're stockpiling. You know, we've got a rigid wage structure. And that means that, you know, these young talents, that's perfect for implementing that because they're not going to be paid very much money. You know, we offer long-term deals, but they're heavily incentivized throughout the length of the contract. So you're only paying as well as they're performing, essentially. You know, you can definitely tell 100% that some of these signings are literally opportunistic and for profit. And then you've got phenomenal talents like Esteval, Paez, etc., who are obviously seen as the best in the world at their age. So that's okay. You know, you talk about it from a business perspective. I don't know how good Penders is, by the way. Is he one of the best young goalkeepers in the world? I've got absolutely no idea. The first I'd ever heard of the guy was when we were linked with him. You know, you give these, and in theory, you know, you give these talents long contracts, you amortize the fees over 5 years or whatever. And, you know, ultimately, you know, you can debate what the reason is. And look, it's probably to make sure that we don't get held to ransom at the end of the day. But the ownership have backtracked so many times. You know, this is supposed to be the final window of a 4-window plan. You know, and surely, you know, we should be making less. We should be making less signings, but of a higher quality. You can have the same general strategy, but take it down a tone and maybe just cherry pick a little bit more. I don't know if this will be, but that's essentially what the idea is too. I mean, look, if we were facing a potential transfer ban, it would maybe make sense why we're signing so many players, because maybe you think that a transfer ban is coming. But I just can't get my head around. We are making an active choice here. An active choice is being made not to pursue ready-made players with proven quality already. It's not that we can't get them. We are making an active choice not to sign proven players. That's what we're doing at the end of the day, you know. And I'm sorry, but if you want to win as a football club, there is a reason why no one has won doing what we do. Now, are this ownership, you know, naive or stupid to think that, you know, they could just keep doing this and eventually it's going to come good? I don't know. Maybe it will come good in a few years. That's the plan, but. No serious football club is signing Samu Omorodion instead of going for Ivan Toney or Victor Osimhen when you've needed a striker for 18 months. No serious football club is doing that. So why are we doing it? 20 million euros on an 18-year-old goalkeeper. Why? We've got Slonina, we've got Petrovic, we've got Sanchez, we've got Jorgensen, we've got Kepa still on the books. Like, what? Why are we? What's going on here? We haven't got enough teams in the multi-club model to loan these players out to. This Penders is going to take up another international loan spot. We've got 1 or 2 international loan spots left, with about 6 or 7 players fucking needing them. You know, I'll be honest. This guy is probably never going to play for the football club. Never going to play for the football club, is he? What is the plan? You know, ultimately, I don't know how much of the part of the plan was selling most of the academy is, but obviously with no Champions League football, you lose 70, 80 million pounds a year. So you've got to make that money up elsewhere. And maybe, you know, they're selling academy players who they don't feel are going to become first choice players. And our plan in the short term basically means we have to sell academy players. That's what it comes down to. But this Penders signing, I mean, I don't want to shit on the kid or disrespect the kid, but it just seems a pointless signing. What's the point in it? What is the point in it? I just don't get it. I really don't. You're allowed 7 or 8 international loan spots, and I don't know how many. I don't know how many we've taken up at the moment. By the way, guys, let me just get a quick look in here. I'm exhausted with this club. It's almost as if the board, they know we're getting a transfer ban, so they're stockpiling. Yeah, I mean, look, that's a possibility. 100% that's a possibility. And look, as I said, you'd maybe almost rather that, wouldn't you? You would maybe almost rather that. What else are we looking at? Guys, there's so much coming in. 20 million on our 7th goalkeeper. We couldn't keep Gallagher. Ridiculous. Yeah, I absolutely hear it. I absolutely hear what is going on right now. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. This signing in isolation, I don't have a huge issue with it, but it's this on top of everything else. If you're signing a Tony or you're signing an Osimhen or you're signing a Michael Olise or whatever, and then you sprinkle in a Penders, you sprinkle in a Caleb Wiley or whatever, cool, no issue. But when you were not able to get an Olise deal over the line, when you were not going for Victor Osimhen, when a deal is so obviously there to be done, when you are deciding to prioritize an unproven 20-year-old over a proven commodity in Victor Osimhen, that is where that's where I lose faith with this club and what they're trying to do, because you can have this plan, right? And look, I haven't got an issue of signing young, talented players. You know, you want a load of those in the team and around the squad. I get that. But Chelsea, honestly, we're not a million miles away. Sign a Tony or an Osimhen, sign an Olise, you know, and that makes such a big difference to the team. We're having a totally different conversation. Why are we refusing to acknowledge anyone that is a proven player? Who was the last proven player Chelsea signed? Let's be real. I know you can talk about, you know, your Caicedos and your Enzos and whatnot, young, talented, obviously, you know, a bit more proven than some of the other players. But why there are players there to be signed, Tony, Osimhen, but the club are refusing to sign those players because they are very much stuck in their ways. And Penders is just another one of these players that, you know, will sign for 20 million euros. He won't see the light of day at Chelsea, and he'll just be flipped on for a profit. Name me one football club, right, that is doing what we're doing, that is purely buying players with no intentions of playing them, but just to sell them later down the line. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Oh, so much coming in, guys. If you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, please do please do use the super chat function. We improved the first team, been terrible. Yeah, of course, Christopher and Kunku. Yeah, I mean, look, they're few and far between. They're few and far between, guys. Is what I'm getting at. They are few and far between, guys. 164 in the building. Big up to every single one of you that is locked in. Make sure you're smashing that like button. We're only on 44 likes. This should be on 100 likes ASAP. And please keep subscribing to the channel as well. We should be adding a few more subscribers, no problem whatsoever on this one. We should be doing that. So please make sure you are subscribing to the channel, and please make sure you are also hitting that like button, guys. Run it up, run it up. Let me know when we're on 100 likes, people. Most players they've signed are flops. I would disagree that most of the players are flops. I think there's been a lot of good business that they have done. Gusto, Palmer, Nicholas Jackson. Pice is destroying football, is he? I don't know about that, but I just don't understand. Another kid signed, great news. I'm pretty sure that Nkunku that deal was agreed before this ownership came in, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that was agreed before the new ownership came in. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, Mike Penders is just. I've got no words, guys. I've got no words at all on this Mike Penders deal. It just doesn't make any sense, and it is absolutely textbook Chelsea behaviour under this ownership. Absolutely textbook. What are we honestly expecting? 20 million euros on. But why? For what reasons? Surely there's easier ways of making money. You know, surely. I don't understand it. I do not understand it whatsoever. Yeah, Sterling was a proven player, but I mean, look back at that transfer window now. That was a complete and utter disaster. A complete and utter disaster. And look, I mean, I don't think Penders is the last of it. I think we're close to shelling out 20 million quid or 20 million euros on another one. You know, I think we're close to shelling it out on another one. Gabriel Mech is going to be is one. Yeah, you know, again, Mech and Penders expected to be the next signings for Chelsea. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, Gabriel Mech's 16 years old, hasn't even played a senior game of football, and yet we're gonna drop best part of 20 million pounds on him. I just, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Seriously, what the fuck are we doing? I just don't understand it. I don't understand what this football club is trying to do. You know, there's a few pieces of the jigsaw that need fixing, you know, that need adding, and yet we're not adding them. We've needed a striker for 18 months. We've known we've needed a striker for. Osimhen is there to sign, and you decide to go and spend 35 million pounds on an unproven 20-year-old. For what reasons? When there are proven players out there that will go and make a difference to this football team, yet we are refusing to do that. This is an active choice that the football club is taking. We're not forced into this situation. This is an active choice that we are taking to do this transfer business. And I don't agree with it. I simply do not agree with it. I think there has been some good business. You know, we have made some good signings under this ownership. I agree on that. But for me personally, far too much money has been wasted. Far too much money is not going towards the improving the first team. Everything seems to be focused towards the future, 2, 3, 4 years down the line. And we just seem to be neglecting the first team, neglecting, you know, the here and now. And I do worry for us. We've got the quality to finish in the top 4, no doubt about it. But why is there no desire to go out and just sign a few proven players? I'm not saying you need to go and sign all the biggest names under the sun. Just a few proven players, you know, people that are just going to make a difference. Surely that would just make a bit of sense. No, would that just not make some sense, guys? Am I wrong here? Yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. You know, I don't subscribe to the thought that they don't want to win. I do believe they want to win, but I'll be honest, their actions are totally different to their words. I'm not, on the evidence so far, and this is now going into our 3rd year under this ownership, what evidence is there to suggest that you can win this way? What evidence is there to suggest that? Has anyone won implementing a strategy like Chelsea are implementing now? Because I can't think of a single team that is moving like us, implementing a strategy like us, that has won doing what we're doing. Can someone please tell me? Can someone please tell me who has won operating like this? Because no one has won operating like this. And this is my point. I don't disbelieve that they don't want to win. I don't believe they don't want to win. I do believe they want to win. But the way they're acting is not acting like a football club who wishes to win. If you want to be a team that buys players cheap and then sells them on for a profit, that's absolutely fine. But except you're not going to win things, If you want to operate like a Brighton, for example, there's no issues with Brighton. Fantastically well-run football club, very profitable business, play some nice football. You might qualify for Europe every so often. This is Chelsea. It's not acceptable for us to be operating like this. We are signing players with no intention of playing them, purely just to sell them. What is that about, guys? What on earth is that about? I don't get it. I just don't get it whatsoever. So many bad signings: Disasi, Badiashile, Mudryk, Madueke, Sterling. We have done fuck all during this ownership. We were world champions before they came in. Yeah, look, we've massively regressed. 100% we've regressed. Yes, we made an improvement last season, but excuse me, we're still nowhere near where we want to be. Nowhere near where we want to be. Guys, there's so much coming in. As I said, use the super chat function if you want to guarantee your comment gets read out. Chelsea's doing what no club have done before, so we have to wait and see if they can win a trophy. No, but bro, this is not about just we can't say the project's a success if we pick up a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup. The proof is going to be in the pudding. Chelsea need to be winning leagues and European trophies. If we win the Conference League next season, that doesn't mean that this project is a success whatsoever. It doesn't mean that at all. Doesn't mean that at all. I think they want to increase the fan base of the club in South America. Maybe. But yeah, look, Penders and Gabriel Mech look like they are the next man that are going to be coming through the door. It's just a shame, isn't it? It's just a shame. I don't say it like it's a shame, but it's just irritating, isn't it? It is just irritating. Just irritating. I'm just I love this team and this club, but sometimes I just cannot get my head. I just cannot get my head round some of the things we're looking to do. I just can't get my head around it. I just cannot get my head around it at all. All this money we've spent on players, right? We could have gone out and signed £100 million forward. We could have gone out and got ourselves a top-class goalkeeper with all the money we've spent on fucking goalkeepers over the last 2 or 3 seasons. This is my point here. No one's saying we're going to win the league with the flick of a switch, but we are miles away from winning the league. We are further away from winning the league than we were when these guys came in. Please tell me who has won anything meaningful operating a strategy like Chelsea. They simply haven't, because it is very difficult to do. It is very, very difficult to do. When there's no, this is exactly it. There's no win now players. Which players have Chelsea signed that are win now players? Christopher Nkunku. Cole Palmer has probably turned into that, but we're looking at Nkunku and Cole Palmer, right? Out of all the money we've spent and all the signings we've made, those are probably the only two win now players. Would I put Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in that bracket? Maybe not. But look, there's been some good signings. Let's make no mistake about it, by the way. I'm not shitting on every piece of transfer business we've done because it's not all been bad. But I just find the complete lack of direction and the complete lack of strategy just really, really baffling, because there are deals there to be done that will make a difference to this team, and we are actively choosing not to pursue those deals. You don't like this is what people don't understand. For every Cole Palmer, there's that's maybe 1 in 10 signings that happens. 1 in 10 signings, probably that situation happens. We have to accept, guys, that the majority of these signings are not going to work out. That's how it works. You make 10 signings, 2 or 3, 4 if you're lucky, might be good enough. That's the reality. Not every player is going to be a Cole Palmer. In fact, maybe 1 in 10 will be a Cole Palmer. It's that rare. It's that rare for it to be an occurrence. And this is my problem, People now basically judge every signing saying, oh, yeah, but he could be a Cole Palmer. He could be a Cole Palmer. Like, we need to stop thinking like this. The reality of anyone coming in and being a Cole Palmer is so slim. It's slim to none, in my view. Absolutely slim to none. That guys are going to come in and supposedly become a Cole Palmer. It's not happening, people. It's not happening in my view. I just don't see it. I personally don't see it. Jonathan David or the Villa forward are better than Omorodion. The only thing I'm focusing on is the season after the next two, where the players have built experience, system in place, pious. Bro, we can't even think that far ahead because half these players will probably be sold on before the next 2 years, But they've not made a contribution. Gusto has, but Lavia's not contributed yet. I'm a big fan of Romeo Lavia. I think he's going to be a brilliant player for us. He's not contributed yet. Caicedo hasn't contributed yet either. He's not been here long enough. But we're talking about Cole Palmer levels of contribution. That's not going to happen very often. Yeah, I think you probably would. I think we probably would be. You can see by the business that we've done in the first window. I think we probably would be signing more win now players if Bowley was here. I think that would potentially be the case. But anyway, we've got bogged down on this. But yeah, the fact is, it's just very frustrating. Very, very frustrating to see us keep going on like this. But again, at the end of the day, we've got to put a bit of perspective on it as well, because other fan bases live like this every season. Teams that never win anything, they always support them. It's difficult, isn't it? It is difficult. But you've got to, but I think perspective has got to be applied here. We have to apply perspective. It does my head in when I see people talking about the Roman era and how amazing it was, and they completely overlook how towards the end of Roman's era, things were a fucking shambles. We've not had a decent recruitment strategy, in my opinion, for about 10 fucking years. That's the reality of the situation. So whilst we won under Roman and it was all great and we'll be forever grateful, the reality is we've been a sinking ship for a number of years. A sinking ship. That is true. The recruitment's been piss poor under Roman for the last few years. You've got to apply perspective. And yes, it's hard to be positive about. It's hard to be positive about. Yeah, it was great in terms of the memories and winning stuff. Let's not people speak as if Roman did nothing wrong. We made some shocking recruitment, awful recruitment. We've been on a downward spiral for the last 3 or 4 years prior to this ownership coming in, and the Champions League papered over the cracks. I remember saying at the time after we won in Porto, in the long term, winning the Champions League will do more damage to this football club because it allowed people to think that the squad was good. The squad wasn't good. We just somehow under Tuchel got everything there. Look, I understand what the strategy is. I don't agree with it. I don't think you can be successful with that strategy. You know, but we didn't give it a chance, did we? We sacked Tuchel the early doors, barely gave Potter a chance, and then brought someone else in and completely switched up the recruitment strategy. So we didn't even give it a chance. Yeah, bro, this is mad, and this is what frustrates me. This is what greatly frustrates me, is that all the money we've spent, we could have bought 1 or 2 world-class players in the really important positions. We could have bought a world-class goalkeeper with the money we've wasted, and we could have bought a world-class centre forward. For the life of me, for all the money we've spent, why have we not signed a world-class goalkeeper, and why have we not signed a world-class centre forward? Why? Why have we not done that? You know, bro, this is the 3rd year of this and nothing's really happened. I'm not writing the whole project off, but you know, if we miss out on Champions League football again this season, then what is this project? You know, do we tear it up? What do we do here? You know, I want to be positive about Chelsea. I love this football club. Support them. You know, to the day we're no longer here. But you know, I just think we're missing a trick where we could have got a couple of world-class players in really important positions, and we'd be having a different conversation, and it would be making, you know, a total difference. You know, think how different the conversation would be, right? If we'd signed Elise, if we'd signed Ivan Toney. Imagine we had Elise, Toney, or Elise and Osimhen. You know, we could have done this, guys. Those are there to be done. You know, those are there to be done, and we're making an active decision not to go for these kind of players. Do you get what I'm saying? This is why it annoys me, because there are deals there to be done, and we are just choosing not to do them because we don't agree with, because we don't think it's the right way for the football club to go. And only time will tell whether we're proven to be right or wrong on this one. But the evidence right now is showing that what this football club are doing is not working. He wasn't, though. Like, it doesn't mean that you don't like Roman, you won't love him forever for what he's done for this football club. Let's not pretend that Roman was faultless his entire time here. He wasn't. He wasn't. That doesn't mean we like him any less. He simply wasn't faultless the entire time he was here. Not the case. Guys, by the way, over 200 in the building. Smash that like button. We're on 70 likes. How have we got over 200 in the building? Not even 100 likes. What's going on here? Smash that like button and keep subscribing to the channel as well, guys. There must be plenty of you in here who haven't subscribed to the channel. Let's get another 7 subscribers here. Get it up to 10,830. We're heading towards 11K, guys. Looking to get there before the start of the season. So please smash the subscribe button and please run the likes up. Guys, let me know when we're at 100 likes, okay? Mate, I am as well. I am as well. Maybe they're waiting to the end of the window, you know, for Brentford to really drop their price, or maybe they're just waiting. Maybe Tony's going to leave on a free. I really don't know. But I'm surprised that still no one's gone in. What else have we got? Yes, brother, big up. Listen to me, we're finished. We have no winners, leaders, or even a manager that's been there and done it. From the top down, everybody's amateur. I wouldn't say we're done, but yeah, look, I understand people's concerns. I absolutely get it, you know, because what we're doing has not been done before, and the evidence so far, it doesn't look like we're really doing anything. I get it that Clear Lake are trying to build a I get it clearly. They're trying to build something sustainable, trying to build a dynasty and whatnot. But right now, going into their third season, they look like they're absolutely fucking nowhere. Absolutely nowhere of this project. You know? Do you see for sure improving, for sure? Nicholas Jackson, for me, is a 20 goals a season striker. You know, he got 14 Premier League goals last season. Look at the amount of opportunities he missed. Look how many chances he missed. You know, there is definitely, you know, there's definitely improvement in him for sure. Can't say we're finished before the season even starts. No. I'm absolutely not. I'm not writing the season off by any stretch of the imagination. Not at all. Going into the season optimistic and positive. And whatever happens, guys, we've got to stick with it. We simply have to stick with this because we can't afford to be making more and more change. Yeah, probably will watch that. I wouldn't say Reese is not a leader, but he doesn't strike you as maybe a natural leader or, you know, a leader that we've been used to, like a Silva or a JT. I think he does it in a different way. But I think certainly Reese can grow into a leadership role. No doubt about it. Yeah, the here and now is the problem, and this is the problem with this strategy: is it totally ignores the here and now and only focuses on the long term, and that in itself is a big problem. That in itself is a big problem. So I don't know what we're gonna do here. We're gonna eventually get this right. Good players will turn up from the young bunch bought so far. Well, yeah, that's what we have to hope. That is what we need to. That's what we need to hope for. But we've got to get back in the Champions League, and we've got to get back to winning something. You know, we're hungry for trophies, guys. You know, I'd take a fucking Carabao Cup. I don't even care. Take a Conference League and shamelessly flaunt it. You know, we're starving right now, guys. We are starving right now. We need some form of success. You know, we need some success. So let's see what happens. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. I honestly think we finish anywhere between 4th and 6th. That's my take on it. I think between 4th and 6th would be my bet. I'd be surprised if we finished outside the top 6. I really would be. But you know, then again, Chelsea do have a habit of surprising us, don't they, guys? They have a habit of surprising us. So who honestly knows? Who honestly knows? But what I do know is, guys, is that the likes are slacking. The likes are slacking. 212 in the building. We haven't even reached 100, guys. What's going on here? What is going on here? Smash that like button, people. Run it up, run it up, run it up. You know, run it up, people. I think 4th to 6th is realistic for us this season. I don't feel entirely confident with the direction the club's heading in. I don't feel entirely confident with the recruitment plans. And there are genuine causes for concern. No doubt about it. I think, look, we've got some good players. I think we've got a manager who's got a clear identity and a clear style of play. And that 4th place is there for the taking. So, you know, we've got Lavia back. We've got James back. We've got Nkunku back. So, you know, these are big pluses for us. And if we can't finish in the top 6, then, yeah, there's big problems ahead. Big problems ahead. We simply cannot afford to miss out on the Champions League again, just from a financial perspective and from a player perspective as well. You know, we simply can't do that. What else have we got? So I believe our squad is good enough for top 4. The squad's good enough for top 4. It's just whether we can actually do it. That's always the thing. Are we actually able to do it? We've got a squad that is capable of finishing in the top 4, but the reality could be very different. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would, and I think that wouldn't be a horrendous season. I would sign for that right now. I would sign for a top six and win the Conference League next season. Outside of City and Arsenal, I fear no one. Fair enough. Yep, defensively, I'm worried. I don't worry about us in midfield now. I don't worry about us going forward. I mean, obviously, maybe a lack of end product and not particularly clinical in the final third are issues. I don't worry about us in midfield or going forward. I do worry about us defensively. I think defensively there are a lot of issues. If we can iron out our defensive problems, we should finish in the top four. But I think we're going to struggle again defensively this season. Certainly in the beginning of the campaign. I think we can probably turn it around as we go through the season, but I suspect we will struggle defensively as we go through the campaign. That would be my thoughts on it. I mean, it's not given that Palmer keeps performing on that level. No, it's not. Of course, it's not. Honest opinion on Reece, he looks like he's lost a yard. Maybe he has. I think he'll be fine. He looks sharp. He looks fit. He looks ready for action. I'm not worried about Reece, no. But I think it's natural when he spent that long out, he probably may have lost a yard. You know? No, the defensive issues are a concern because, one, we're conceding the same type of goals still. We're making individual errors still, which plagued us last season. And we're still letting in, and as soon as we concede, we're looking very, very vulnerable. You know, multiple times on pre-season, we conceded, we then concede again within the next 5 or 10 minutes. That is a habit that has been happening across the past couple of seasons. You know, vulnerability after we concede. Defensively, we don't look at it at all. I know it's going to take time to get used to this new defensive system. I get that. But defensively, we look at shambles. Out of possession, we look at shambles. So there's plenty of work to do, but you would expect there to be plenty of work to do. You know, you're not going to have 5 games, new manager, new system, players being asked to play in a way which they've not played in before in their careers. You're not going to get to game 5 and expect everything to be fine. You sort of expect to be kind of where we are. I wouldn't expect perhaps the defensive issues to be as glaringly obvious as they are. I would have maybe expected some sort of improvement there. It doesn't look like much of an improvement there at the moment. But I would expect there to be issues. If there weren't issues after game 5 of pre-season, I'd be a little bit concerned as well in terms of thinking, well, something's waiting to go wrong here. You know, look, and last season, by the way, guys, everyone gassed up the preseason. Everyone was loving the preseason. Everyone was excited about the preseason. Oh, we're going to smash it this season. We're looking so good. And then we went and won 3 out of 10, 3 of our first 10 Premier League games. So, you know, let's see. My one concern would be, I know we've got Cucurella, Jackson, and Cole Palmer to go back in, but we had, that was pretty much a full-strength squad in America, bar 2 or 3. Pretty much a full-strength squad. I think it's a little bit better. There's more depth in it. I don't think the starting lineup's any better. You know, I don't think the starting lineup's any better than it was last season because we've not made additions in key areas. So no, I don't think it is any better. I don't think the starting team's any better. I think the squad's maybe a little bit better, but I don't think the starting team is any better at all. Personally, could be wrong on that, guys. We're 6 likes away from the 100 likes. Please keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do, and yeah, I would really appreciate it. So run it up, and get to those 100 likes, people. And yeah, please keep subscribing as well. Yeah, maybe. I think they're good players, but yeah, I don't know what happens. Newsflash: Palmer will not have another season like last season. I think it'll be very hard for him to replicate that level of output. I'd still expect him to be very effective, but yeah, it won't be It won't be that. It won't. I don't think he'll be on the same level as last season, personally. Yeah, and I think risk is the perfect word to sum up what Chelsea are doing. Taking risks with the manager, taking risks with the recruitment strategy, taking risks on unproven players. You know, it's one of those at Chelsea where, you know, we're basically putting big money on red, and it might come up and it'll be great, or we're putting big money on black and it comes up red, and we're fucked. That's kind of where we're at right now. Doesn't seem to be anything in between. It's either going to be a complete disaster or it will be a big success. I don't see there being any sort of middle ground on this personally. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is right now. But yeah, look, I think it's totally legit to, bro, I've got no idea. I think it's totally legit to question the ownership, to question the direction that the club's heading in. You know, I'm worried about people that aren't questioning the ownership, aren't asking questions of the direction the club's going in. You know, I really am concerned about that. You know, I think you've got to. You know, what I would like is someone involved in the decision-making process at Chelsea to come out and clearly lay out what the plan actually is, because they obviously got one, and I want to know what it is, and I want to understand it a bit more right now, because I've got to be honest, guys, I haven't got a fucking clue really what we're doing here. I'd be a lot more relaxed about the plan if there wasn't an international loan cap, for example. But instead, all we seem to be doing is increasing the amount of players we're buying and then decreasing the amount of players that are leaving the club. And all our international loans basically just end up in the French league. You know, we have tried the open communication route. There was a interview with the sporting directors last summer. They sat down and did that. You know, we sent a message to the fans in the last program of the season or whatever. I'm just a bit lost. I actually don't really know what Chelsea are doing, and I don't think Chelsea particularly know what they're doing either. I don't think it's being negative. There's not an awful lot to be positive about with Chelsea at this point in time. You know, I try and be as positive as I possibly can be, because I don't want to waste time being negative about everything. So it's just a waste of energy, and it's tiresome. But let's not pretend that there aren't major concerns at the football club surrounding the ownership, surrounding the direction the club's going in. Because right now, everything we're doing is based on a huge gamble. At the end of the day, it's based on players becoming as good as we think they're going to become, and there's no guarantees of that at all. But it's never as simple as that. Never as simple as that. You know, we need to buy another club for the multi-club model, but the multi-club model doesn't make you win. It just gives you somewhere to send these players. On Osimhen's a possibility the lad is past his peak. Oh, bro, he's not past his peak. He's 25. But I just don't think people want to spend the money on him because it's a lot of money. I don't think he's really worth that money, to be totally honest. Not sure if he's worth that money. I don't think people aren't paying because of his ability. It's just because the money doesn't warrant the ability. If that makes sense, if people get what I'm saying, I just don't think people see value in him, And I get it. I think I'm not sure if Osimhen at £100 million, there is any value in that. Is there value in that? I'm not convinced personally. But at some point, we are going to have to push the boat out. I don't think they really know what their own plan is, to be honest, because right now the plan they're doing is not working, and it's not showing any signs of working either. You know, it doesn't mean I don't want the team to win. Doesn't mean I don't want the football club to do well. Doesn't mean I'm not a fan if I'm questioning things. Doesn't mean doesn't mean any of that. But you know, I don't particularly agree with the plan. You know, what is wrong with signing a few proven players? What's wrong with that? You know, is there really an issue with just signing one or two proven players that's going to make a difference, guys? Seriously. Tony Osimhen. I would rather Ivan Toney because I think he would suit the team better. Plus, financially, it would be a lot less money than signing an Osimhen. So yeah, I would rather Toney if presented with the two. If the two were going to cost the same money and the outlay were exactly the same, I probably would still go Toney. But I just think that Chelsea are not thinking about transfers in terms of improving their team. They're signing players and they're thinking about the profit they can make from them. They're more concerned with players being profitable off the pitch than actually on it. That's what I'm noticing, is that they care about profitability more off the pitch than players being good on the pitch. That's my yeah, but that's because the level's been so poor. You know, we've got one proven player in Raheem Sterling. That's it. That's literally it. Who else is proven in the team? No one. But anyway, let's move on to some stuff that we have been doing, guys. Samu Omorodion, we got the here we go last night for him. 7-year contract, £35 million. I'm not going to shit on him because it's not his fault and it's not fair on the kid. But as I was saying, no, I've never said we're going to get instant success, but you know, under no illusion, said many times, this is not going to be an instant success, nor am I demanding instant success. Not at all. But we have to get top 4 this season. You know, if we do not get top 4 this season, there have to be long, hard, serious questions asked about this ownership. There has to be. You cannot come in and be 3 years into a project, spend all this money, and fail to qualify for the Champions League in every season you've been here. You can't do that. But yeah, we got the Samu here we go last night. Deal in place, 35 million, 7-year contract. Leverkusen and other clubs tried to enter the race, but Omorodion joins Chelsea. So we got that. And then we had today, further update. Obviously, he's preparing for the gold medal match at the Olympics, Spain versus France. And he understand Chelsea are planning to book medical for Samu Omorodion in Paris today. Apparently, it's now £34.5 million. So we've got a 500 grand discount. Fair. Omorodion will sign 7-year contract after his medical. And look, I want this guy. I want this guy to do well. I don't know enough about him. Don't particularly know how good he is. Not watched enough of him. I want him to do well, but we're putting a lot of pressure on the kid to come in and deliver. And that's just not fair for someone so inexperienced. You know, to give a rookie manager inexperienced players and then expect them to finish in the top 4. That's why this season, if stuff goes wrong and we don't do and we don't do what we expect to do, I'm not going to be blaming Enzo Maresca. I'm going to be blaming the sporting directors and the ownership. I've never said the third season we would win the league. I've never said that. I said maybe we could challenge, but I never said in year 3 of this project we're going to win the league. That just isn't true. I mean, Omorodion, second striker. He's going to start. He's going to start as the second choice for sure. He's not going to be the first choice signing. I absolutely convinced on that. We know he won't be first choice. It'll be Nicholas Jackson as the first choice. We know this. But yeah, it's just a bit of an unknown. I want him to do well, this guy. Of course I want him to do well. This is the big thing. You can sign all the players you want, but the hardest part is putting the pieces together and making it all work. That's the big thing now. He's still injured at the moment. Hopefully he's going to play against Inter. That's the plan. Hopefully he plays against Inter Milan. Guys, 204 in the building still. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Please keep smashing that subscribe button. Please keep smashing the like button. We're on 115 likes. Let's get this to 150, guys. Should be light work. Good show today. Good conversation. Please keep smashing that like button, guys. I want this at 150. 150, please, guys. Let's get there. Let's get to work. Very raw, but nothing more than prospect at best. And for that money is a disgrace. Do you know what? I don't think the money is that bad. I think you look at the striker market, you look at transfer market in general, potential is going for a lot of money. I actually don't think the price tag is that bad. If we were talking 50 plus million, then I would agree. Yeah, I do expect it. I absolutely do expect it, because if he doesn't, then we're an absolute fucking joke. So I am expecting him to finish the season. Absolutely, I'm expecting him to finish the season. And he simply has to, whatever happens. What do I think of the Mike Penders signing for summer 25? Tells me Sanchez will be sold next summer. I don't know if it does tell me Sanchez will be sold next summer, but let's wait and see. The Penders signing is just another opportunity, isn't it? Just another opportunity. Sure, he's got the attributes. Yes, he's got attributes, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that he's going to come in and deliver. Yes, he's a profile that we don't have in this squad. Yes, he's a profile and he's got attributes that we're looking for. None of this means anything, though, really, because he has to come in and do it, and that's the biggest part. You can have all the attributes you want, but if you're raw as fuck like he is, the guy is raw like sushi, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing finished about him. And it's another massive gamble. Another massive gamble. I don't think people aren't pissed off at Omorodion. They're annoyed because we've needed a striker for 18 months, and the supposed answer is an unproven 20-year-old. You set these goals that you want to finish in a top 4 and whatnot, and you give Maresca, Omorodion, and Jackson in order to achieve it. That for me is just, that's not it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not buying to it. Yep, it makes it make sense. Make it make sense. I don't get it at all. You let a proven player go in Conor Gallagher for about 35 million, and then you use that same 35 million or more to bring in unproven players. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. We can still get Osimhen if not, and this signing fails, or manager. look, we're not going to get Osimhen. It's not going to happen. If it happens, I'll hold my hands up. But we're not going to get Osimhen, guys. Let's be perfectly clear on that. Victor Osimhen is not coming to the football club. We know this. The thing that annoys me is fans acting like scouts. If we signed Nico Williams last year's fans would have said he's not a needle mover. Like Nico Williams. There was a potential to sign him. Yeah, but you need everything else to go with it. It's not just about a 14-goal striker. You know, what's he going to be like next season? You know, the second season is always a bit more difficult. We see this with players all the time. You know, and yeah, it's I don't know. I really like Nicholas Jackson, by the way. I think he's a really good player, like a lot of what he's about, but we could have done with someone a bit more proven to take the goal scoring burden off him a little bit. But now with signing Omorodion, I said Osimhen, the Osimhen stuff was a smokescreen in terms of for another deal. You know, that's what I was saying. You know, I wasn't saying, Omorodion's a smokescreen for Osimhen. Very much the other way. Yeah, I like Nicholas Jackson. You know, I agree that there's a lot of improvement to be had there. But in my opinion, personally, we should be signing. Look, I'll be real, right? If Chelsea, this is just my opinion, right? And people can agree or disagree. But if Chelsea were serious, okay, and wanted to come in a top four and wanted to get back to the top, you sign Michael Olise this summer. You sign Ivan Toney or Victor Osimhen this summer, and you sign a top goalkeeper this summer. All three of those things, or Nico Williams, you sign an Olise or a Williams, you sign an Osimhen or a Toney, and you sign a top-level goalkeeper. All three of those possibilities are or were there to be done. All three of those were very, very plausible and very possible. We have actively decided not to sign Olise, decided actively not to pay for Nico Williams, decided we are not going to buy Ivan Toney because of his age, decided we are not going to buy Victor Osimhen because of cost. Now, some of those decisions you can potentially agree with, but if we were a serious outfit, we would have signed a top centre forward, one of those two players, and we would have signed a top level winger, a Michael Olise, for example. But we're not talking about huge money here. We're talking about Nico Williams' 44 million pound release clause, not a lot of money, and we're talking about Michael Olise around the 60 million pound release clause. Not an awful lot of money. You know, we're not talking about multiple £100 million signings here. You know, that we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that at all. So yeah, it's just annoying. Yeah, I think he will. I think he will. For less than 300 million, we could have had 3 or 4 top players. Potentially, yeah. Chelsea could have signed Olise. Olise wanted to come to Chelsea. That deal was there to be done. We wouldn't have pushed so hard for best part of a month if we weren't confident of getting him. But this is the thing. This is my thing here, right? You're soon going to have to realise that if you want top players, you've got to pay top money for them. You know, because if you don't, someone else will, and you'll get left behind. Jackson has shown he can improve to become the best striker in the league. He's only 23, having played the league for the first. I wouldn't say best striker, but potentially. My question is that what will happen if Jackson decides to leave next season because of lack of game time? Jackson's not going to get a lack of game time. He's going to play most weeks because Omorodion is not going to dispossess him. Take that off him. What else is going on? But yeah, that's the latest on that. So I'm already on, obviously, at the Olympics. I think the gold medal match is tomorrow or either this weekend. We'll see what happens on that front. Let's just go through another couple of bits and pieces, guys. Okay, because there are a few other bits to go through. Let's start with, what should we start with? Let's talk about the future of Đorđe Petrović, because there is interest in him coming in from the likes of Fiorentina, from Strasbourg. I think, in all honesty, I think it would be a disrespect if he goes to Strasbourg. I think he's better than that level. Let's have a quick look what is being said about Petrović. So, Đorđe Petrović could be loaned to Strasbourg. Fiorentina have also made an inquiry. Genoa decided against making a move. Petrović still assessing his options, knowing he has fallen down the pecking order at Chelsea. It comes as a deal for Mike Penders is almost done, though he'll be loaned straight back to Genk. What else is being said? I think Nazar did something on him. Yep, here we go. Let's just quickly click that. Chelsea have begun finding loan options for Đorđe Petrović, who is deemed surplus to requirements. Fiorentina and Strasbourg are both interested in taking Petrović on loan. Situation is complicated by Petrovic's confusion at his development plan at Stamford Bridge. Fair enough. I think, confusion sums it up well. While he is cautious about dropping down to a lesser level or becoming a backup option elsewhere. Internally, Strasbourg have highlighted Petrović as their perfect option to be number one on a season-long loan. They are ready to add a third and final loanee from Chelsea, which is the maximum allowed in FIFA's rules, as they've already signed Santos on loan, with Caleb Wiley's loan deal also set to be announced. Yet Strasbourg have also sounded out Lyon goalkeeper Anthony Lopez, aware that Petrović could opt to sit on the second year of his 6-year contract at Stamford Bridge until a bigger club comes along. Yep, there we go. So there is interest in Petrović. Well, I mean, I don't know about that right now. This is a guy that's 19 years old. Don't know an awful lot about him. There's definitely ability there, 100%. But he's not going to play. He's not going to play for a while. He's not going to play for Chelsea for at least a couple of years. So yeah, we will see what happens, guys. Keep smashing. Keep smashing that like button as well, by the way. Let's get this to 150 likes. We are on 132 likes right now. Now, the confusion is that he was signed last summer on a 6-year contract, probably told certain assurances about stuff and what the plan's going to be. And a year later, after impressing and being the first choice for the second half of last season, suddenly you're surplus to requirements. It's mad. And I was saying this on another show earlier. I get it. Football's evolving. I get it. It's changing with the modern day goalkeeper. Why is keeping the ball out of the back of the net become less important for a goalkeeper? Why are they all only judged on how good they are with their feet and their distribution? I just want my goalkeeper to be good at keeping the ball out of the fucking net. And if they're decent with their ball at their feet, then that's a plus. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just crazy, isn't it, guys? It is just crazy. But that is where we're at right now with this. It's just a madness, isn't it? It's just a madness in my view. But yeah, Petrović will be interesting. We've got so many loan slots, international loan slots that we need to use, but there's not many of them left, and it could be quite difficult to source domestic loans unless we're going to sell these players. That would be That's my issue. Are we going to sell these players? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand. Giving him what he needs. I don't think he needs a 20-year-old unproven striker to help get him in the Champions League. That's not what he needs. There's going to be three used on Strasbourg, right? And then we still got loads. Where's Ugachukwu going? Where's Petrovic going to go? Where's Renato Vega going to go? I don't think he's going to be part of the first team this season. Where's Guiu going to go? I think the Omorodion signing means that Mark Guiu, despite impressing in pre-season, is probably going to be loaned out. That's obviously not the view you share with the best managers in the world, not even including the rest of the goalkeeper, rest of the fourth centre-back. I get that, but for me personally, why is shot stopping overlooked? The most important thing is, are you good at keeping the fucking ball out of the back of the net? Why are we forgetting the basics of goalkeeping? Keep the ball out of the back of the net. That shouldn't be a secondary thing. That should be the most important thing for a goalkeeper. Are you good at keeping the ball out of the back of the net? Then we'll work on the rest. No, we've got that's another one. Cassidy as well. You know, we have got a lot of work to do with outgoings over the next few weeks before the window closes. A serious amount of work to be done. Not enough loan slots available. And we need to find it. We need to find it. You know, I don't know where we're going to offload all these players, but we need to do it, and we need to do it fast. 4 left. A lot depends on outgoings. Are Lukaku, Broja, Fofana, Chalobah, and Cassidy sold? Again, I'm not sure all those players will be sold, but it's international loan spots. Domestic loans is irrelevant in the number. So I'm sure you could get domestic loans for some of those players. I think Fofana is close to Leicester. But yeah, you know, the point's still there. Washington, that's another one that needs a loan. Washington needs to go on loan as well next season, guys. There's a lot of players that need to be moved on. A lot of players that need to be moved on. By the way, guys, 14 likes away from 150 likes. Please keep smashing that like button, people. It's free. There's still 175 in the building. Get this to 150 likes, people. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Make sure you're doing that, and make sure you keep subscribing to the channel as well, guys. Let's try and let's keep adding the subscribers. We're 170 odd away from 11k. Keep pushing, people. Please keep subscribing. Well, that's the plan, sure, but we're not at the plan yet. That's the thing. You know, it's all in theory great. Yeah, well, I don't think we do statement signings anymore. I don't think we do statement signings, but you know, I could be wrong on that. We will have to wait and see on that front. Washington, Datro, Cassidy, all well worth buying. Yeah, maybe. But it is interesting, isn't it? You know, there's no surprise that we're not going to have enough spots. Angelo still, Slanina, Diego Moreira potentially as well. And I think the reason why the loan spots are being cut down, guys, is probably to stop clubs from stockpiling talent, which is exactly what we're doing. And we're continuing to do that. Ugachukwu, Chukwuemeka, who literally didn't play a single minute in the final 3 pre-season games after starting the first 2. What's the plan? What's the plan with him? We've got Kellyman still. I mean, to be fair, I think Aneurin will be sold Vega, where's he going to go on loan? Kellyman, where's he going to go on loan? Wiley's going to Strasbourg. There's a lot of players. I would have said yes, but I think we all know too well that he's not going to be tried. You know, they're not going to try him. They're simply not going to try him, guys. So yeah, that's just the reality of the situation, people. They are not going to try him. So there we go. He's going to be loaned. He's still young though. I think he's only still 20 or something, or whatever he is. So yeah, we will just have to wait and see what happens on that one. But the Petrovic one's going to be interesting. The Petrovic one will be interesting. I mean, ideally, you'd probably rather sell him, unless you just loan it, unless you loan him out for a year, and then you sell Sanchez next summer, and he comes back as a number 2. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe that's a possibility. You know, not many teams need goalkeepers though. That's the thing. Not many teams need goalkeepers. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It is gonna be interesting, but I don't know now if we're gonna do any. Omorodion's in. I don't know if we're going to do any more business now, guys. I mean, people, do you think we're going to sign anyone else? I think the main focus has got to be on outgoings now. Has to be on outgoings. I personally don't feel we're going to sign anyone else. The only other person we may sign is Osimhen, but I think that's highly, highly unlikely. But I don't mean like any wonder kids or anything, or any like teenagers. I mean, are we actually going to sign anyone that's going to go into the first team squad? I'm not sure how many more signings we're going to make that are going to go into the first team squad. Yeah, I'm sure we'll sign another couple of 16-year-olds. I've got no doubt about that. But yeah, it certainly is going to be an interesting one, isn't it? I don't know. Are we going to go for a winger? Are we going to go for? Are we going to try and get Osimhen? Are we going to try and go for another striker? I'm not sure really what our plans are here, guys. But that is the latest on Jordan Petrovic. Strasbourg interested in a loan. Fiorentina interested in a loan. Although I think Fiorentina may no longer be interested, because I'm pretty certain I've seen that they are very close to signing David De Gea on a free transfer. Yeah, Fiorentina are closing in on David De Gea deal, just waiting for the Spanish goalkeeper's confirmation to book a medical. 1-year contract with an option of a further year, 3 million euros salary per season, almost done. So yeah, obviously Fiorentina is not going to be an option for Petrovic now. So yeah, we're gonna wait and see, guys. We are gonna wait and see. Yeah, we're gonna wait and see. I don't know what the I don't know what the plan is. To be perfectly honest, with Petrovic, but if Chelsea could get a permanent sell, I think they would absolutely. I think they'd absolutely do it. The Conor Gallagher money has just basically been used on Omorodion. I mean, you literally virtually the exact same transfer fees, pretty much. But yeah, any of you lot got any questions in the chat, guys? Yeah, we are pretty good at selling and offloading players, but we need to tap into every part of that right now to ensure that we do offload these players. That is what we need to do. We must. We simply must. So yeah, let's see what happens with that. But yeah, this is crucial few weeks now in terms of outgoings, because there are a lot of players that we need to get out of the football club in the next 3 weeks. And there's still a lot that looks unlikely. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the hope. We just need to now action that and put it into reality. That's what we need to do next. Simply that's what we need to do next. Guys, we're 10 likes away from 150 likes. Please keep smashing that like button. Please, please, please run it up. 10 likes away from 150. So make sure you are subscribing as well. If you're new around here, guys, every new subscriber helps. Less than 200 away now from 11K. So please keep subscribing to the channel. It's free. It takes seconds. It massively helps me out. So please do that. And yeah, 10 likes to 150. Run it up. Run it up. Lukaku, he needs to go as well. He wants Napoli. But he can't go to Napoli until Osimhen leaves. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. To see what happens there. What we witness is US business as usual: drive up revenue and cash flow, drive down total cost, and create good numbers on the balance sheet. Yeah, fair enough. Predicted starting 11 for the season: Sanchez, Gusto. I personally think it'll be Sanchez, Gusto, Tosin, Colwell, Cucurella, Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, Nkunku, Palmer, Jackson, potentially. When are multi-clubs buying again? We already have Strasbourg. We need more. I don't know when. Potentially, although there's no real update other than what's already out there on that. Well, who's going to start instead? Because Tosin hasn't looked much better. I think Fofana definitely starts. Badia Shield's not looking great. Yeah, but sure, we'd all take Osimhen on loan, but Napoli aren't going to allow that unless there's an obligation to it. They're not going to let Osimhen go on an option, on a buy option, because then we can just send him back, and then they've got Lukaku and Osimhen on the books, and they've got the same issue 12 months down the line. So no, I'm not convinced on that. But let me just check if there is anything else to go through, guys. We're still 9 likes from 150. Please keep running it up. It's free. It takes seconds. So let's wait. And so let's make sure we get it done, guys. Let's make sure we get it done. Any other news to go through? But of course, we'll be backing the team. Absolutely backing the team. No doubt about it. Fair enough. Fofana and Tosin. No, we can't afford to make a slow start. I absolutely agree. We cannot afford to make a slow start. No, because Osimhen wants to go. That's why he signed a new contract. He agreed that he wants to go. Napoli would happily keep Osimhen if he wanted to stay. He would happily stay. They'd happily keep him. But that was the agreement. He wants to move to a bigger team. And he signed a new contract with a release clause in him so that he could leave. And no one has activated the clause, or no one sees value in the clause. So Napoli aren't choosing to get rid of him. They're not choosing to get rid of him. If he didn't want to leave, they would absolutely keep him. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, all we can do, guys, unfortunately, is just wait and see what unfolds. Wait and see what unfolds. I suspect Osimhen either ends up at PSG somehow, or he ends up in Saudi Arabia. He will not be at Napoli. He will not be at Napoli next season. I think he's either Saudi or PSG, because I cannot see him being at Chelsea. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, guys, I'm going to round this one out now. Big love to everyone that's tuned in. As always, appreciate each and every single one of you lot. Please smash the likes on the way out, people. 7 from 150. Keep subscribing to the channel if you are new round here as well. Would greatly appreciate that. Run it up, run it up. Smash the likes, all that good stuff. Love for the support, people. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back tomorrow with either an upload or another live show, depending on how much news there is. But yeah, guys, make sure you're hitting the likes on the way out. Make sure you're subscribing. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Let's see what the next 24 hours or so has got in store for Chelsea in regards to any news. But yeah, guys, thanks as always for the support. It's greatly appreciated. The shows are nothing without you. So big up to everyone that gets involved every single time. Appreciate all the love, all the support. And yeah, guys, smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Catch you lot tomorrow. Up the Chelsea and peace out.